According to this data, we have an 80% chance that this next move is going to happen as well. Will there still be an upcoming massive pump? As previously talked about, guys, we have so much to talk about. Bitcoin price projections going into the halving, the US recession potentially culminating into the ultimate catalyst for Bitcoin to make even crazier gains than we might be expecting, as a recession has not happened in the US in the past 10 years, guys. There always is a recession, and I'm going to show you why I believe there's going to be the biggest recession of all. Wow, look at this chart, guys. We have so much to get into. Let's get into it. Wow, thank you guys so much for joining me. Wow, on this Tuesday, December 10th, 2019. Guys, we have absolutely so much to talk about. The price, as of right now, has gone down, but it is in a key area. And is it prime for a massive move? That is exactly what we need to be talking about. We have to track this pattern that we mentioned in the last video, but as well there is another very bullish pattern to take a look at, guys. Things have been looking pretty bearish over the last few days, and people are putting out a lot of bearish things. However, guys, when people are telling you, like Mark Cuban just said today, that Bitcoin will never get anywhere, guys, that is when the smart people are paying attention. So guys, thanks so much for joining me. Before we get into today's episode, we are still doing this giveaway for the treasure. All you have to do is leave a comment below. Maybe tell me your favorite ice cream flavor. You know, how's the new girl you're dating? Have you gotten to first base? My brothers, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me, brothers. And as well, if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And wow, I almost cannot even hold this in any longer. It's about to get messy. Let's just jump into the data. So guys, first off, the pattern we talked about here the other day was this little triangle forming within all of these other patterns. And so far, this has held so truly. In fact, we've just gotten our third timely touch as of right now. We had a little bounce so far. If we zoom in on the 1 hour, get a really Scooby picture of this. Look at this. Just a few hours ago, bouncing right off of there, completely falling through. Obviously, key support right there on the fib. Bam, bouncing. So guys, we really have to see what waits and happen. But so far, like we talked about in the previous video, this is going exactly according to plan. So that's really interesting to see. So I want to come on and just make this update. And there's actually a lot of other interesting stuff that happened as of today that we really need to get into and cover as well, guys. So besides this small pattern forming here, we also have something pretty interesting. Sorry, I think I just deleted something. We also have something very interesting that I want to point your attention to. So within this, you know, former used to be probably a bear flag. I think it's a little too long for that now. Or sorry, bull flag. But it's obviously a descending channel in terms of price there. We have this, guys. We have this. We have this. We have this. Descending wedge, okay? All right, let me make sure I'm drawing this right. Here and here, you guys. So now, that is not saying that we are 100% going to go down and touch these areas, but obviously for me, this is the key critical level. Again, I talked for the past few videos about how if this is broken out of, I think there's going to be a massive reactionary bounce, not to mention the bottom of this the middle bottom of this descending channel here, right around here, guys. So far, this has actually been playing out textbook, just as we expected. Look at this. This is actually beautiful to see. This wick actually touched down right in the center of the culmination of this market structure in the middle of this white channel line. So right there, literally touched right there. If we zoom out, you can see just how long these lines have been on the chart. Clearly a very long time, guys. You can zoom out, and you can actually trace this one back even further. This actually goes back and does touch. You can see it here. You can even just visualize it. You can visualize it from here. It goes all the way back. It's such a key structural trend line of the market. So let me just zoom back in, and I'll show that you guys one more time. Let me make sure I have that Bitcoin halving stamp still there. Yes. So this purple trend line here, okay, you see that here, and as well you have the bottom middle of this descending channel right there, still touching, still holding there, guys. And we expect a massive bounce. We have 5 days before December 15th, so we're really thinking around that time frame. And guys, I do want to do more TA, and I do have a lot of stuff to cover actually in this, but one thing that I think is really important for the future of cryptocurrency, and specifically the price going up. Specifically why I'm mentioning this is because it directly is impacted and relates 100% to Bitcoin skyrocketing like never before. If there's one key factor, in my opinion, and again, guys, we have to go back to the beginning of Bitcoin in 2009 when it first had, the Genesis blocks, January of 2009, Bitcoin was created as a reaction. It was essentially created in response to the recession of 2008. We have not had a recession since 2008, guys. Look at this chart. We have not had a recession since 2008. Now, remember the Great Depression? You can see that on the chart there real quick. That was absolutely huge. That was the biggest drawback we've had in history so far, but what was right before that drawback? One of the biggest booms in the economy as well, okay? 8 straight years, okay, guys? The largest, and then also the largest dump. So now we have 10.7 years with no dump yet, guys. If you were an intelligent person, you're looking at this chart, you look at the end of that there, what do you think's coming next? Do you think it's just going to go up forever? Do you think it's going to go up forever? Or may we see one of the biggest crashes of all time? Let me tell you now why that's different and good for us, okay? Back in any of the other recessions, we did not have cryptocurrency as a hedge, okay? Not saying it will be used, but is the possibility there? Yes, and I'm going to bet my apples and my eggs and my gooses all in the chambers for this one, guys. I 100% think, well, I mean, looking at this data, you know what? I could make an entire video with no talking in just this picture for 10 minutes long, and it would be absolutely astounding. I'll tell you that much. Look at this data. When is the recession? I'm not even going to say recession. When is the depression coming? Because, boy, you think you're depressed? You just wait until the Great Depression. Number 2. We had World War I, World War II, Great Depression 1. Let's get Great Depression 2, guys. So anyway, back to my point here. Why that would be crazy is because if we want to talk about price speculation for Bitcoin, an event like that, where even a small fraction of the world's biggest money was somehow invested in Bitcoin to try to leverage and hedge themselves, guys, $500,000 Bitcoin within months, $1 million Bitcoin within months, XRP, $20 instantly, Litecoin, $2,000 instantly. Again, that's all my speculation, but it could happen, and it's obviously not instantly, but it could happen so fast. These charts, people want to talk about manipulation and charts not meaning anything. That would make these charts not mean anything. What do I mean by that? An event like that, and again, this is not guaranteed at all, but something like that is pretty much the golden ticket for absolute insanity in the market. It is still possible that if nothing ever happens with the economy in any major way, in terms of a crash or something, that Bitcoin will most likely still reach crazy valuations eventually, okay? Most likely still reach crazy valuations eventually. But an economic event like we have never seen before, combined with this, guys, that's when we start talking about stuff like this. That's when we start talking about stuff like this, okay? That's when we start going absolutely nuts. Because that would be the perfect trifecta. Things would be nuts. Every S coin, every poop coin out there, 1,000% gains, 2,000% gains. Doesn't even matter. Although that's probably not true. Probably not every poop coin, but there are going to be some coins in the top 20 that probably don't deserve massive gains that will probably benefit greatly. I mean, it's insane. Take your pick because, you know, who knows? But guys, something like that would make the market absolutely explode. It would be so juicy. So I will have some other things I want to cover in this video as well. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, just because, guys, I really just think this is inevitable. Also, shout out John Kim. I saw this about a week or two ago, but I thought it was necessary to bring up today, as I've been thinking about it almost daily for the past 2 weeks since I've seen it. I can't get it out of my head. So for the first time in U.S. history, a decade will pass without the country falling into recession. It goes into a lot of detail here. Basically, guys, this is insane. We have always had recessions. You can see this from that chart, okay? We've always had them. But now we are in 11 straight years of gains. If you guys learned, if you were here in 2017, 2018, if you learned something, the gains don't go up forever, guys. In fact, with Bitcoin, those gains are still lower than they were at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. So guys, use some knowledge. Do you think that this is going to go up forever? People thought Bitcoin was going to go up forever, and it will long term, in my opinion, and crypto and a lot of other cryptos. But guys, really just use your brain. What do you think is going to happen based on this chart? Okay, 11 straight years, 363%. The last time anything was anywhere near that high was the Great Depression. And I can speak from firsthand experience. I was 16 years old during the Great Depression, and it was absolutely terrifying. Okay, guys? Speaking from experience, you don't want that to happen again, but now we have cryptocurrency. Now, I do want to talk about this as well, published by Alyssa Hertig on CoinDesk. Bitcoin's scheduled mining reward in May 2020 could leave price for currency in range between 20 to 50,000 according to estimate, and this is not even taking into account the possible recession/depression. So guys, I'm not really going to read the article too much. You guys can check it out. It's something that's been going around the water cooler for a bit now. I do want to end the video on some Bitcoin TA, guys. I want to start on the weekly and then finish on the daily as we started. This candle right here needs to basically close somewhere above here, right around here. And guys, what we have right here, or the reason I drew this descending wedge, this is very bullish. This falling wedge right here. Falling wedges are bullish. Rising wedges are bearish. Falling wedges are bullish. And here we clearly see, guys, I want you to keep something in mind. Over the next few days, the price action may continue to look a little negative, but I want to say, guys, there is going to be, again, in my opinion, a massive, massive, massive pump, and it will end a lot of the boringness in the market. It's going to be much bigger than something like this, guys. Okay, that's basically what I end the video to say. It's absolutely wild, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think below. Wow, times are changing. You better keep all your belongings, guys. Believe, and start praying, because girl, you never know when things are going to go south. Text you later.